Alrighty, people, what's happening? We've got week 9 on deck, and we're going to try our best to get you the right lineup for week 9. Appreciate you guys for being here. Lots of questions to answer in the Flock Fantasy website, which we will get to first, obviously. But definitely appreciate y'all for being here. Lots of news has happened since we last went live. Travis Hunter went from a legitimate flex potential league winner to we're not sure if he plays again, non-contact injury. I mean, let's just add it to the list this year, right, guys? And then we also have the news of Ramondre Stevenson ruled out. So that makes what we believe it makes Travion Henderson a startable name. Obviously, who knows what kind of tomfoolery this coaching staff could be up to, but we believe that makes Henderson a legitimate startable option this week against the Atlanta Falcons. It would make him a fringe RB2, RB3 flex option, but appreciate y'all for being here with us. We do have a giveaway today, and that is dependent on us reaching our like goal, which is 100 likes. All you have to do to enter that giveaway is firstly, like the stream, and secondly, type week 9 into the chat. That's as simple as it gets, but make sure it's all one word. Now, of course, all of our veterans on the stream would know this, but to anybody who is new, the best place to get your questions answered is through the Flock Fantasy website. In fact, that is where you're seeing these people submit all these questions here. The great part about submitting through the site is that you don't have to wait around for your question to be answered, right? You get a time code to exactly when we answer your questions.
That's correct.
It is a great option for all of you guys who want the convenience and, you know, I guess the luxury of just, you know, being able to have that answer at any time and a video of your answer being sent to you. We love our devs. Shout out to them. Okay, let's go ahead and start with JN2324, who is sending away Achane, Rice, Goddard, getting back Judkins, Egbuka, Collins, Cup. Interesting trade here.
I would rather have
to start 7.
Yeah, I think you're just getting more with Nico. I think Emeka and Rice could be a wash. I think Quinchon and Achane could potentially be a wash if Judkins is back. And then I want Nico over Dallas. So that's how I'm seeing this.
Right now, his lineup, he can start Allen, Achane, Jacobs, Puka, Lamb, Goddard, and then he can flex Rashee Rice. I think that's a stronger starting lineup than adding Egbuka and Collins personally. If it was a start 8, I'd be much more inclined to go with that option.
Yeah, that makes sense.
I think because, in my opinion, this move actually hurts your starting lineup. It doesn't help it. I might be passing with this specific format, but there's so many formats where I would say yes, 12 team, you know, 10 team start 9, start 8, but I just don't think this is actually going to improve that starting lineup. I mean, you'll still, even if you keep the guys that you have, you'll still have Montgomery on the bench, Godwin on the bench, DJ Diggs, Devonta Smith. So what I would rather do if I was in your position is package players where I'm doing like a 2-for-1, a 3-for-1. So my goal would be, let's keep our stars in Achane and Rice, but let's package Montgomery and Devonta Smith. What sort of running back can we get? Let's package the Marvins, the Diggs, the Smiths, the Moores, the Godwins, the Montgomerys, and let's be the person who is sending the 3 for the 2, the 2 for the 1. So from a value perspective, I understand where Badak is coming from, but simply from the perspective of contextually with your league, I don't think I would be willing to do that.
No worries, JN here. NJ Casanova says, made a couple of trades since you guys did my review yesterday. Should I accept this offer I received to maximize draft capital? So you're sending away Chris Olave and getting a 26 early first and a 26 mid second. I personally would be okay with doing something like this. I think that is really good value for Chris Olave right now. I think his value could rise if he does get traded. At the moment, the talks is that he's not going to get traded. At least not during the season now, but maybe he's going to hit free agency.
But I think he's going to get a contract extension, so I don't think he's going to be cheaper in the offseason.
Yeah,
I think I'm indifferent.
So I'm okay with
this.
I'm
indifferent. If you want to add draft capital, fine. I have been scouting the 26 class on the weekends for the last couple weeks, and I will just say, so far with running backs, kind of what I was anticipating last year. There is no elite running back prospect if you're buying into 2026. I can say that comfortably right now, unless there's someone that I just haven't heard of. There are a couple good ones. Now, wide receiver apparently is where this class is really strong at. There's a lot of quarterback potential, so I haven't gotten to that class yet, that side of the class yet. But I don't know. Like, if this is a late first, I'm probably not that bothered. If it's a mid first, I would be open to it. Alternatively, what I would ask for them is a 27 first. If they can counter for that, I would rather invest in that class as of right now. So that would be my counter. If they're not willing to do that, then it's fair value. Like a first and a second is not unfair value for Chris Olave. But at the same time, he's definitely going to sign an extension in the offseason. It's just who with, and that ultimately, like, he's not going to lose value is what I'm trying to say. Like, I don't think he's going to lose value.
I agree. So, and wherever he's at right now, he's definitely his value should rise. So I'm happy with taking the picks or staying put. Simon says, I'm 6-2 looking for a wide receiver to stash for upside. Who do you like most? Noel, Watson, Slate, Coker. In order, it will be Noel, Watson, Coker, Slayton for me at the moment.
Yeah, these guys are all really difficult, options, I would say. Noel, it makes no sense for the Texans to put the genie back in the bottle. And when I say that, I mean take their really talented young wide receivers that they just drafted, who are showing to be very productive, very effective, and to then play Christian Kirk over Jalen Noel and to play Hutchinson over Jaden Higgins. However, expecting the Texans to do something that makes sense probably shouldn't be our expectation. They continually do things that don't make sense. That being said, if there are trends where Noel actually starts over Kirk, like, I think it's worth stashing him first. And then outside of that, it's probably Watson, and that's where I would go there. So yeah, pretty much same idea, but wanted to give my opinion. Just quickly, guys, if you're out there and you're going to donate a super chat through YouTube, appreciate you guys big time. But we have said this all year, and we're going to continue to stick to our word. We'll answer your super chats, but it will be after we answer all the questions on the Flock site. Of course, the best way to get your questions answered is through the Flock Fantasy site. That is the pinned comment. But we are doing a giveaway today. If we reach our like goal is 100 likes. All you have to do to enter that giveaway is like the stream and type week 9 into the chat. That's as simple as it gets, and then we'll give away some vouchers on the site. Appreciate you guys. Let's get through these site questions, though. Brandon, starting Sam Darnold. I would start Darnold over Bo Nix. He's got Tracy, Olave, Nico. He's got Gadsden. At flex,
it's going to be Cortland Sutton, and then looks like most likely Kyle Monangai there.
Yeah, I will go Kyle Monangai there as well. Ends up being a really, really good start this week with DeAndre Swift out.
Yeah, I agree. D-Rock here at the quarterback position, Caleb or Bo? Great question.
I'll go Caleb. Let's go.
Yeah.
Sorry. The Virginia Cavaliers have just moved to 8-1. I was worried Cal was driving. It's 30 seconds left in the fourth. They could have tied it up, but a pick six seals the deal. Ladies and gentlemen, the team of destiny is not Mason Dodd. It's the Virginia Cavaliers in college football. Anyway.
Caleb Williams, the quarterback position. Etienne Swift, Nico Chase, George Kittle, and at the flex, some good options. Henderson or Sutton. Look, Henderson technically should be a good start. I'm still just going to go with Cortland Sutton personally.
Too much tomfoolery can happen there.
Yeah. So hopefully that helps. Plain says, is this trade respectable? Am I offering too much? Are you sending away Warren, Harrison, and Worthy for
You're certainly not sending too much. I mean,
I think this is a start 7 as well. So
Yeah. Would you say this
I
is
would
too much
imagine
for
he's
Jamar
high.
Chase? Would you say this is too much for Puka Nacua? You probably wouldn't. It's just because his name is Jackson Smith-Njigba, but he deserves to be valued the way those guys are. We're talking about 22.1 points per game right now. Just absolute superstar status right now with JSN. So it's definitely not, you're definitely not offering too much for JSN.
Well, I would say that if he does this trade, his team doesn't look as strong. He loses his RB2. He loses depth at the wide receiver position, meaning that he's going to be
I don't
starting
think you're
Josh
looking
Downs
at
in
the
that
right
flex.
team. If you
Ooh.
go,
Okay, yeah, you're right. You're right. I'm looking at the wrong
stop
team.
going to the team tab and instead go to the plus button where you can look at a counter, and then the left side is always their team. So you see he actually has Charbonnet, Walker, Dowdle, Gibbs. He's completely fine to send away Warren, I think. That's three
Yeah,
guys
you're right,
that
yeah.
you can probably
You're right.
start. Pasta
right.
Bro.
It says offered Keon and Dalton for Tet, not taking it, but any counter proposal idea.
I mean,
That's
you
just not a
you
good
want
start
to
at
counter
all.
this? This is probably a trade I would just decline and not say anything to. That's just that's a terrible trade. Two guys that should be on the waiver wire. Hey, do you want these two guys that should be on the waiver wire for, the rookie wide receiver that looks like he could win leagues?
Yeah, for real.
No, I have, like, what? What? Okay, so we can formulate a trade, but I don't know what the hell I'm looking at there. Yeah.
There's no one here.
I don't see a reason.
There's no one. There's
There's
literally no one here that you can even up tier to or pivot to. Like,
feel free to send in this time code. Dog shit offer, and that deserves a dog shit response. So no, thank you. Rod Tanya is next, sending away Pollard and McLaurin for Garrett Wilson.
I'm okay with this. If you have running back, I mean Terry, like I said, he's not going to be coming back until after the bye week, and then by then, are you going to be happy to start him in the fantasy playoffs? Might as well get Garrett Wilson, who just has his bye week. Tony Pollard, you're probably not even starting at the running back position, depending on your team. So
if I could duplicate Tony Pollard 3 times and like have him as like the same version of him 3 times on my roster, I would still add all 4 of those Tony Pollards into that deal to get Garrett Wilson. It doesn't matter. Michael is starting Bryce Young with Justin Fields on bye. It's a super flex league. Bijan, Vidal, Ladd, Nico Pickens at the flex spot. I would probably lean Kareem Hunt first and T. Higgins next.
I completely agree.
Okay.
All right, D's nuts. Love to see it here. Chase Brown and AJ Brown for Javonte Williams. 12-team start, 7. I would imagine
fair.
your team. Yeah, I think it is fair. You have Alvin and James Cook sending away Chase Brown.
I like
You
that.
have
You have a
Rome.
real solidified RB2 then.
Roman Jefferson there as well. So like you are losing wide receiver depth, but like you would rather start Javonte over AJ Brown on a week-to-week basis.
Well, this probably puts Jake Ferguson into your flex then, because you just lost Travis Hunter. So he's probably starting Goff, Cook, Javonte, Jefferson, Adunze, Kittle, and then he can either flex Kamara or Ferguson. So it potentially hurts your starting lineup if an injury occurs, but it's pretty fair value, I would say.
Yeah, I would agree there. Black Fire here, starting lineup, Justin Herbert, the running back position, Kamani, and then I would be going Kamani Vidal and Kyle Manungai.
Yep, I agree.
Yeah, wide receiver position, I see Nico. I see Amon-Ra.
I would start JSN and Amon-Ra over Nico, but he's probably...
You know what? You're so right. You're so right. I didn't even see JSN. Tight end position. I'm still going to go Kittle, pretty sure. Let me just triple check.
I agree.
I know Gaza is probably really close, but yeah, Kittle at the flex there. Yeah, so then you can put, Nico in that flex option. Zonovan is going to be the second guy. And then this is where it gets tricky. Tracy, Higgins, Gadsden. I feel like all these guys should be started here.
Higgins, Tracy, Henderson, Gadsden. A lot of options, yeah.
I'm counting out Henderson because I'm not trusting him.
Sure.
I guess it just depends on what you need. I feel like upside is with Gadsden, and it sounds crazy to say, but Tracy is the safe floor.
Yeah.
I would imagine he gets maybe 15 touches, 9-ish points, where Gadsden can get, 3 catches, 3 targets, but get 2 touchdowns.
Yeah.
I think I'm gonna go Gadsden here.
I think I'm right there with you. I do think the floor play is Tracy the amount of times he's probably going to touch the ball, but I'm right there with you, man. All right, next question we've got here. Main-Yo. Starting Joe Flacco, which, he's a great startable option. I dropped him simply because I wanted to stash a running back instead, but he's a great option. He's going into the bye week next week, but if you guys are out there and you don't have a quarterback, just have a mental note that after his bye week, he could potentially start for you until Burrow is back every single week. At running back 2, it's probably Henderson or Dowdle. Dowdle is supposed to be the starter moving forward now. It's a terrible matchup, though.
Yeah, that's kind of where the tough part is here. I moved Henderson up higher, but I need to see if I moved him higher than Rico, and I can tell you I did not.
Yeah, I'm gonna go Rico.
I still have Rico higher technically. So Tracy, T, Nico,
at
McBride.
The flex, I would probably put Gadsden in there.
Yeah, exactly. So we're on the same page.
Main-Yo back with another one. Stafford, Chase Brown at running back. Woody Marks or Henderson here?
This is also
really
very close.
Yeah, I probably lean.
I have Woody higher than Henderson.
Yeah, but Henderson should definitely get more work. It's just you don't know what that.
I just think it's something that you have to wait. Yeah, just something that you have to wait on.
At the flex, it's between Addison or McMillan here.
Yeah, and this is going to be very close as well. I'm pretty sure I have Tet higher than Addison.
I lean T-Mac with it being McCarthy's first start since injury.
But these guys are pretty close.
Let's get Main-Yo here again. He's got another one. Stafford, Knight, Kyron, Lamb at wide receiver 2. Dunze's got to be in there, although I hope he busts this week because I'm playing against him. What you did was actually smart. You started Mark Andrews. That makes a ton of sense. If you had no tight end this week, you probably should have picked up Mark Andrews and started him. Thank you, Mason, for not doing that. In the flex spot, Olave.
It's going to be Olave. It is iffy with the new starting quarterback.
Yeah.
But like if you're shaky, I would be okay to start Keenan there, just knowing like that role could potentially change, or that, maybe Tyler Shook will spread the ball out a little bit more than hyper target Olave. But we'll see.
Yes, I agree. All right, Thorgs is here. At quarterback, I am starting Jaden Daniels. I've heard quite a few people in the industry that I trust who are hesitant to start him. And look, I understand the concern, but I just don't think you sit Jaden Daniels if you have him. I just don't think that's someone that you put on your bench under any circumstances, unless you have another elite name. Like, we love Caleb, but Jaden could match Caleb's points on the ground.
I agree.
Bam Knight's going to go in that RB spot as well. And then you're good to go. Appreciate you, man. Thanks for the question.
Appreciate you.
Hey, guys, if you're just joining us, first off, shout out to you. Hopefully you've had a fantastic week. Secondly, if you'd like to enter today's giveaway, just like Joel did here, all you got to do is like the stream and type week 9. Make sure there's no spaces. And then once we end up with 100 likes, that's our goal, we will go ahead and do a giveaway for some vouchers on the Flock site. Appreciate y'all for being here. All right, Rob Guh is asking a start-sit question here. Starting off with May, then Gibbs at the running back 2 spot. I would still trust Kareem Hunt over Henderson personally.
I agree.
Although it's a close call either way. At wide receiver, between Adams and Nico and Ladd, that's crazy. I think you're going to flex the one that you don't start here. So let's pick 2 of these names. By the way, Harold Fannin is not playing this week, so if Hawkinson's your best option, then he is. But you've got a lot of good receivers. You could consider trading one potentially for a tight end. But
Yeah, this is a tough one. I mean, you don't want to sit whichever one you're going to sit, whether that's Nico, Lad. Look, I don't think you're going to sit Adams. So it was between Nico and Lad, in my opinion. Um, and Lad has just been a little bit more consistent over Nico the past couple weeks. So I think I am going to go Lad and sit Nico, which sounds crazy to say.
yeah,
But like,
I get it.
Lad has picked up in the past 4 weeks since week
Yeah.
5. Nico obviously had a concussion this past week, but has been not what we hoped for.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna go with what has been consistent, so I'm gonna sit Nico Collins.
Madrid here says Parker Washington and Slayton on waivers for the flex. Well, at running back, he's going to be starting Henderson and
Yeah, I'm gonna start Henderson
JCM
and
probably.
I thought it was Kareem. Okay, yeah, you're right. I was gonna say Kareem Hunt, but you're right, Henderson and JCM. And then at the flex,
yeah, you're going to need to start one of those waiver wire options. I would probably lean
who was it again? It was Slayton
and
Parker Washington on Slayton. I mean, yeah. It is probably Parker Washington as well.
Probably
Tough
Parker
one.
Washington. Yeah, that's a tough one, man.
Yeah, I would agree.
I'd probably start him over RJ for sure. Nightwing is starting between Daniels, May, and McCarthy. See, this is where I said, like, look, if you have another elite option, I don't mind if you go that way. I think that's what Drake May is at this point. So, but it's Dynasty League. I was going to say, like, I'd be very interested in moving one of these names, and Dynasty is a little bit different.
One quarterback.
At running back 2, this would probably be Monangai for me of all your options this week.
Yeah, I'm there with you.
At
And at the
flex.
flex, a lot of names here. So I see JCM, Woody, Henderson,
Gadsden.
Marvin Harrison there as well.
Marvin
I
versus
see.
the Cowboys too.
It's probably going to be Marvin actually. It's going to be Marvin actually for me. I'm interested in how
Yeah, with Jacoby Brissett playing.
Jacoby Brissett. Yeah, I know.
Actually, I'm more confident for some reason with that.
When did Jacoby play? Was that last week against Green Bay, or was that like week 6?
It was their last 2 games, but for one of them, Marvin Harrison had a concussion.
Yeah, I remember. Yeah, very interesting. Okay, I'm still gonna go Marvin. I wouldn't be upset if you went Gadsden or Woody. I would say that, but I'm gonna go Marvin.
Marvin's probably the riskiest of them all, but the highest upside.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I would agree. Daniel.
Mm-hmm.
Considering starting 2 tight ends for flex. Yeah, BTJ. You're saying. So Gadsden and Pickens. You're starting Kyle, Woody. Yeah. I think you might be right. I would rather start.
Are we
the tight
sure
ends
with no
over
Travis
BTJ.
Hunter? No Travis Hunter?
Yeah, I mean,
I'm just asking the question, but I mean,
I would say
agree.
like technically not that Travis Hunter wasn't making an impact, but we saw in the first couple weeks of the season Brian still not live up to expectations when Travis was on the field. But I don't know, maybe that is Giga breaking it too much. Maybe I don't know.
Well, the Raiders, yeah. I think I'm gonna go both tight ends as well.
Yeah, I would agree. Daniel with another one says big decision: Woody or Travion. This will be Woody easily. I would say over Travion.
I wouldn't say easily. They're in the same tier, just a couple spots different. Actually, I think I do have Woody in a different tier, but just a couple spots different. I'm saying it's not easy because I mean Woody Marks is not the assumed starter. It's still Chubb, although they use them both at different moments. Where you would assume Travion, and I don't want to assume because assuming anything with that staff is wrong, but you would assume Travion is the starter. I still lean Woody, but it's close. It's close between those guys.
Yeah, it look, I can understand it. I guess I'm just going up against what I already have seen the past couple weeks, and they have. Look, this is the next level of Travion having his opportunity, right? We had the fumbles from both Antonio Gibson and Ramondre Stevenson. We have Antonio Gibson tearing his ACL. We're still not seeing Henderson on the field. Now we have Ramondre Stevenson off the like literally not playing. And if Henderson is not going to get more work, then it's like that is not okay if he doesn't have a decent game this week.
Yeah, Atlanta isn't a terrible matchup. They're kind of middle of the pack. You know, Denver is a more difficult matchup. You just have more, honestly, like you have more consistency. I don't know. Like I feel like Henderson should be, the more I think
that's
through,
yeah.
I feel like Henderson should be the name.
I'm just going with consistency, just like you just said. I understand. I want Henderson to break out. I have Henderson in so many places, on so many teams. I'm most likely starting him in a lot of areas as well. But like, if I had the option between Woody and Henderson, I would go Woody just based off what I already know from Woody and what he's done the past 3 weeks or 2 weeks technically. So.
Yeah, I'd love to hear from the chat here. We're gonna put a poll in the chat because I think I'm gonna move Henderson above Woody in my rankings.
Okay.
I can recognize it's riskier, but Woody is still in a split backfield. And I guess that's probably what Henderson's going to be in with this coaching staff, but it's difficult to know that Woody's definitely in a split backfield and Henderson could potentially be on his own. I think that's where I'm finding the most difficulties here. There's a poll in the chat. Do us a favor. Take a second. Tell us who you'd start between Marks and Henderson. Let's get back to that in a second. I don't think I'd change anything in your flexes there.
Yeah, I agree.
But yeah, I'm probably going to lean Henderson now. If I've answered any of your questions before with Marks, I'll probably lean Henderson there. And most of the chat is agreeing. It's close. Like I don't blame anyone for going in any particular direction there, but that's probably where I would lean. We got a Dynasty review there from Bragdon, which we'll do next week. Let's go to Crush.
Sending away Kalmanungai for a second. I would rather have the second right now. Now, this game this week could really set Kalmanungai apart. Like, he can set the foundation to where he can just take the job from Swift, but give me the second.
Yeah, no, I'm gonna agree with the second. I mean, I Swift has played so well. I don't see him being phased out this year, but that's kind of what you dream of when you draft in your rookie drafts. You took Kalmanungai in the 4th round for sure, or you picked him up off waivers. And if you can turn that 4th round pick into a 2nd round pick more times than not, that's the right process. So I'm fine with it. The Douglas is here and starting Daniel Jones, Chase Brown, Jonathan Taylor, CeeDee Lamb at wide receiver 2 between Sutton and Thomas. You know, this is where I would lean Brian Thomas personally. I am not telling you that you can't start Courtland Sutton, but if you have options like this, I'd rather go that way with the Broncos facing Houston. It's the worst matchup for your fantasy wide receivers. Devin Stingley is healthy. He's going to be out there. So it's too concerning for me. And I'd probably start Gadsden over him as well. But I know that's probably not exactly where Badaki's going to go. But that's just my rationale. It's the worst matchup for your receivers.
Yeah. For me, it would be Courtland Sutton. I can understand Brian Thomas and with no Travis Hunter. With no Travis Hunter, it didn't really move Brian Thomas up significantly in my rankings anyway. So he definitely got moved, I think 3 spots if I'm not mistaken. So I'm gonna go Sutton and Gadsden there.
Oh, so you're not playing Brian over either then? Okay.
No, yeah, I would still start Courtland and Gadsden, but I can understand it.
Lauren Smith, thoughts at wide receiver. They said they've got Parker, which is their only option right now. Alternatively, they can go to the waiver wire and start DK, Booty, Slayton, Horton. I would
start DK or Booty.
DK, yeah, I'd probably lean DK there.
Whichever one you can pick up in DK and Booty, I would start. You'll get a nice little stack there with Booty or DK. I mean, he's kind of emerging to be like the wide receiver 1 over there right now. So
yeah,
I don't mind it.
I don't think Calvin Ridley is playing either. He's already ruled out. Yeah. So
are you starting DK this week?
I thought about it. I just don't know how I would. Like I'd have to sit Xavier Worthy or something. And I just feel like this is the matchup where Worthy really matters.
Yeah, I need a flex, and
yeah, DK. I just feel like
here.
DK feels like a guy that could really end up being like that second half darling, but not
would you want
an idea.
RJ Harvey? RJ Harvey? Honestly, that's the first one. That's the first name I think you would that it would come to your mind. I was like, that's the only guy you would trade for. Now that would put me in a tough. Actually, it wouldn't put me in a terrible spot. But that would help you in the long haul if he does break out, and that helps me now since I'm week to week technically. And people will probably roast me in the chat, but like I'm 2 and 3. I'm trying to not go to Denny's.
What about something
DK
slightly different?
What's DK? Let's see.
Could I give you?
DK has a bye next week. That's so fucking annoying. Sorry. Has a bye in Houston.
Yeah, I'm listening too. That's the hard part. Is like,
yeah,
week 12.
I'm trading him for the week.
Almost, kills me.
Yeah.
Well, I'm not gonna look. It's not crazy. I'm wondering if there's a way to get Chase Brown instead. Like
I guess
DK and a Kamara for Chase Brown and Slayton or something.
Yeah, I just would rather have Chase Brown long term right now, but I can understand that helps me. So what is it for Chase Brown? Is it 2 for 1 you're doing right now?
It's a 2 for 2, but you're just throwing me Slayton. I mean, I can just pick someone up off the waiver wire instead if you want, but it'd be Kamara. I'll send it to you now.
Yeah, I need to see
Chase Brown and Slayton.
I just don't want to move Chase. Yeah. I just don't want to move Chase because I really like his schedule when I'm in the toilet bowl. So that's really favorable for me. But I can understand that. I need to look at Alvin's schedule.
Well, I just realized that Chase has a bye next week. I think I actually would be fucked if that happened. I'm gonna have to deal with a bye. We both have to deal with buys with Kamara and Chase Brown. Yeah, I mean,
we'll come back to it.
Yeah,
we can come back to it. But that's a good starting point.
Yeah,
but I don't know. Right now, I'm contemplating.
If you want to keep Slayton, I'll just look at the waiver wire. Honestly.
Well, honestly, I'm contemplating on starting Slayton over RJ Harvey and Troy Franklin right now.
Then you can keep Slayton. I'll honestly I'll look at the waiver wire instead.
Yeah.
So that I feel like that feels pretty fair, because I also have to think about am I sending away the guy that's the rookie that is going to break out second half that everyone's like, oh, you dumbass, and now everyone next year is making videos from week 9 onwards. You know what I mean? Here's what DK did. Look, I think that's about as fair as I can get there. Lauren Smith. Sorry guys, little. I think that was during Lauren's bit. We were doing a trade.
Yeah, it was.
So we answered
we did answer it. Which was why I thought about DK.
Yeah.
I think the next one is Kinzer Jay. I think.
Yep.
You're sending away Jake Ferguson for Debo Samuel. 1 quarterback, 12 team start 7. I would say if you need
this is pretty fair.
Yeah, if you need a wide receiver, I'm okay taking that.
Yeah, I think this is pretty fair for both ends. If they need a tight end, it makes sense. You already have Tucker Kraft. Yeah, I think that's about as fair as it gets there, honestly.
Yeah. Al sending or at the flex option here, Gazin, Travis Henderson, Worthy.
Yeah. Etienne is probably your safest play.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
But Gadsden is the one that excites me the most.
I think I might go Etienne because of
I think we're guaranteed to get this wrong because you have so many options in the same category. But the Raiders are actually they're actually not that easy to run against. Just you can't run against an entire side. if you look at the Raiders. I mean, Max Crosby, it's funny when you look at the heat maps of the runs against this team. You can almost never run to that right side.
Yeah, they're constantly avoiding him.
I think it's probably ET in here as a safe plug. But Worthy, I mean, I think this is the game where Worthy's actually needed against Buffalo. Gadsden's been so reliable. That's a tough call. I would probably look to upgrade if someone needs a running back. Package ET and then another name to upgrade for that flex. Dart or Daniels? See, this is where I would go Daniels. Love Dart, but I'm not going to sit Jaden Daniels.
I'm there. I'm right there with you. Kyle Monangai, and then I'm going to go Genty. Yeah. And then wide receiver, Richie Rich.
Wow. You should probably just start both of those Chiefs receivers then.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah, I'm there with you. Well, you're going to start McBride and Gazin. I was going to say maybe you can start. Well, actually, you have Kareem Hunt and Tracy. So this is a 10-team start 7. So I would say you need upside. I would imagine you would need upside here. So in reality, upside is Gadsden.
Probably, yeah.
Probably. So that does make sense there.
Yep.
All right. Next one here, Matthew Stafford. You're starting Jahmyr Gibbs. RB2 is going to be Kamani Vidal, wide receiver. I see Drake London. I see Cortland Sutton for me. I see Brock Bowers technically for me. And then a lot of options in Olave, Gadsden, and I guess Henderson.
So this is where you and I will see differently with Sutton, and I can recognize he's probably the safest. Olave's he's schemed into these PPR, safe floors. So I worry more about Sutton's, day against Stingley than a new quarterback for Olave. And that could be the wrong process, but that's where I land. I'd start Gadsden and Olave over Sutton this week.
Yeah, and that's totally fine.
But I'm assuming you would sit Olave for...
I would sit Olave and then start both of the tight ends.
Yeah. Sam I am. Henderson or Bam Knight. Love from Germany. Hey, Deutschland. Yeah.
Henderson or Bam Knight.
Bam Knight has the much better matchup.
Against the Cowboys.
But they are being really coy with how they're planning on deploying those guys, which is a little bit concerning.
Yeah.
But I just think the matchup, even if Henderson has a chance to be in a split backfield, I'd rather be in the split backfield against the Cowboys. So
I agree.
G. Booski is sending away McMillan and Ferguson for Nico and Kittle. I don't see a reason not to take this.
I agree.
Nico and T-Mac, I think you pick your poison, but I'd rather have Kittle over Ferguson rest of the year.
I'm right there with you.
G. Goobski says, have a trade on the way with Jake Tet for Nico and Kittle. All right, nice. Trade on the
with Jake Tet. Okay, so at the flex option.
So that's the trade he just finished, right? So yeah, you would start obviously Kittle then, and you would flex. I still flex Monangai over Nico.
I know he sent away Jake and Tet. Yeah, I would agree. I'm starting Monangai over Kittle. Or over Nico. Excuse me. Okay, great.
By the way, I just want to quickly say to anybody who's a Flock League watcher, you guys do realize that Mason, he's not a dad, but I feel like it was like an attempt at a dad joke. He was like, if Zach runs 50 miles, I'll bench my players on Monday Night Football. He has no players on Monday Night Football. And then I offered him, he wants to talk all this trash. I offered him something, and like a coward, he just wanted it to go away, and then I had to press him, and he's not going to do it. So what you should do is go to his stream and say, why didn't you accept Zach's offer? That's what you should say.
Yeah, maybe you should do that right now. Yeah. Be like, accept Zach's offer.
Yeah, go to the Fox side and be like, why are you afraid of Zach? Why are you afraid of taking down such a lowly team?
He's not live right now.
He was like, why don't we change the deal? Why don't we do this? I'm like, brother, come on. Oh my gosh. It's funny as well because medically it would be a real issue for me if I ran 50 miles. I'm not running. Anyway, Dynasty tie. And by the way, it's maybe I would consider something crazy like that if Mason actually offered something intriguing, but he doesn't have any players on Monday Night Football, so it's either incompetency or a dad joke, and I don't know which one it is. We're going to start Vidal against the Tennessee Titans.
I agree.
And then in the flex, hard to sit a Dunze, right? But Kamanangai, I don't know if I would sit him, but I guess you have to start a Dunze.
And also Dynasty tie. I mean, I see AJ Barner that you're starting here. I think there's better tight end options. I would take a chance with Dalton Schultz if he's there, Jawan Jennings, Hunter Henry, Theo Johnson, if they're all available. I think that's probably as far deep as I can go. That's what she said. Yeah, I would imagine those guys would be available on your waiver wire, so I would start those guys over him.
Yep. Sam says, with Purdy out again, do I trust Shuck at my Superflex spot, or do I go with Hunt or Marks? Probably need safe floor here as I'm favored to win. With Purdy out again, do I go Shuck or do I go with Hunt or Marks? I probably would go with Kareem Hunt there. So if this is your Superflex, let's go ahead and say Kareem Hunt's in that spot. If you need a safe floor, yeah. The rest of your lineup's really good. Yeah, I don't trust Shuck enough, personally.
Yeah, it's hard. I think with Kareem, it just feels like it's kind of guaranteed that he's going to score a touchdown.
I don't know. Against Buffalo, the script could go either way.
They definitely could, but I think if they're in that 5-yard line, they just love running that ball with Kareem there. But I do hear you, so I'm right there with you, though. I'm agreeing.
Yeah.
Zay
Appreciate
is sending away. Yeah, Zay is sending away J.K. Tet and getting Ladd and Wandell. I still want J.K. and Tet.
Yeah, I agree. It's close though. It's close. It's just you expect T-Mac, which we do with these first-round receivers who show like really talented, floors. You expect them to really progress over their rookie season. So T-Mac's got it all. There's not a weakness in his game. The weakness is the offense, really. Dirty Milkers. Incredible name.
Nice.
London Swift Monangai for Jacobs. It's an 8-team start 8. I do think in almost any league this is an overpay. Hey, can you remind me who had Josh Jacobs ranked over Puka Nacua rest of the season? Did that ever make sense at any point?
Team of Destiny.
Oh, but he could miss a week and he has his bye. Silly stuff, man. What do we think here? I mean,
I'm looking at his team: Kamani, JCM, Kyron. I guess long term, he's probably thinking about when Hampton comes back. That means he will start Josh Jacobs and Kamani Vidal. So I definitely think help his team. But the wide receivers: Rice, Thomas, Pittman. Actually, I think this is good enough. Start 8. So what's the starting lineup? Herbert, that's 1. Kyron, Vidal, 3. Rice.
Only issue is in your flex, you're now going to have to rely on Brian Thomas and Michael Pittman rather than Drake London.
I'm okay with Pittman being there in the flex, but yeah, Brian Thomas is a big down tier.
Are we certain that Josh Jacobs is a massive point per game difference upgrade over a DeAndre Swift rest of the year when healthy? I don't know.
I mean, just looking at what we've seen so far, Josh Jacobs 19.5 on the year, DeAndre Swift 15.9, so a 4.5-ish difference. I think he's on the better offense for sure. And Josh Jacobs, does the schedule get easier? Maybe is the next tiebreaker there.
I'm kind of indifferent on this, to be honest. I'd rather you send Brian Thomas in this than Drake London.
Yeah, if you could do Brian Thomas, I think that definitely works.
I love Pittman, but I'd probably rather send Pittman as well. So those are 2 counters I'd try first.
Look, I'm okay with the trade as is. If you can send Brian Thomas or Michael Pittman over Drake, I completely agree. But I like the trade though. All right, next one here, sitting Aladdin Rome for CD. This feels like a lot in a start 7. 2 starting wide receivers for 1. What's the depth looking like for you? I mean, you have a Monra, Rashee Rice, and CeeDee Lamb that you're starting. So this is definitely going to make your team stronger. No doubt about it. Now, if one of these guys goes down,
backs probably is where you should look to upgrade instead. I'd rather package McConkey with a Chase Brown. I'd rather package McConkey with a Woody Marks, you know, and upgrade that spot. But it's not a terrible trade. Just that would be my preference instead.
Yeah, that makes sense. I'm okay.
You're definitely paying a premium for CD there.
Yeah, I think it definitely is a premium, but I'm okay with it. All right.
With the news on Stevenson, I'm back, as XEBS says, at your flex spot. So you're now probably choosing between Worthy, Knight, and Henderson. I still lean Bam Knight here, but it's a very fair question.
Yeah, I completely agree. Go Bam Knight there.
Yeah. If you want to have fun, dude, like I have no problem with you putting Henderson in and thinking, hey, maybe he could dominate. Maybe this is the breakout. That's a fine, idea. If you want to have fun with it, it's just difficult to trust when you've got such a good matchup for Bam. Here be starting Jackson, Knight, Marks, Sutton, Puka, Gadsden at the flex.
Yeah, at the flex.
Probably Henderson and
yeah, it's gonna have to be Henderson and JMO. Yeah. That's it right there. I agree with you.
Yep.
Nate is Drake May Taylor. This is gonna be Kyle Monungai for me. Lad CD Warren, and at the flex, this will be T Higgins.
Yeah. I think that makes the most sense. I'm with you.
Yeah. Rav here. Drake. Etienne at the running back position. This would be, oh my gosh, Henderson, Woody, Tracy, Knight. All these guys are in the same tier right there. So you kind of pick your poison. I currently have, I think I have Woody over Bam. Let me just triple check.
Yeah. I would trust Tracy over all of them versus the Niners. I just think he gets that work on the ground and in the air. He's not as good as Cam Scatterbo, but he probably gets that type of usage where the target's in the air, the work on the ground. At the flex, I would probably lean Bam Knight there still against the Cowboys.
Yeah, I would agree with you. Over Brian Thomas, would you agree there?
Over Brian Thomas. Yeah.
I think I would do that over Brian as well. Yeah, okay. All right, next one here. Sending away 26 first and a third for Bucky. I think that's pretty good. Yeah,
I'll take the Bucky side. And this is Dynasty, so, even if the injury is a problem, you're betting on him long term. Obtainable is starting Allen Genty at RB2. Yeah,
I mean, all the same people again, so this will be
Monungai.
Well, actually, this will be Monungai. You have Monungai in this one.
Yep. Well, for me, this would be McMillan at wide receiver over Sutton.
Yeah, this will be the wide receivers for me. It would be McMillan and Sutton.
Okay. Man.
But there's just so many good options there.
Tracy for sure in the flex for me, and then I'm trying to figure out between Sutton and Knight. Sutton's probably safer, but Knight is just like the matchup is more intriguing to me. That's where I'm going to go. But again, another team where you're playing Russian roulette every single week. Try and upgrade this roster with a package deal where you're sending the package for the player. Crispy starting Love, Monongai, Monty, Nico, Puka at the flex.
My gosh, I mean, it's another one here.
Probably Gadsden.
Yeah. Excuse me. All these guys should be started. Well, not all of them, but you know what I mean.
I'll go Gadsden there.
Yeah, I'm there with you. For me, this one's really close with DJ, but yeah.
Yeah.
Mick, I guess MVCH is next at the flex. contemplating a bunch of guys. This is going to be Marvin for sure, and this for me would be Woody.
Over Bam?
Yeah.
Okay.
I have Woody over Bam.
Still Bam for me with the matchup against the Cowboys, but you know, again, it's another one where you have so many options here that could work. Kind of jealous of some of your guys' teams. Panthers 2550 says debating between Henderson, Rico, Bam Knight, and DJ Moore for my flex. For me, this is Bam Knight. Again, in that game against the Cowboys, assuming no foolery, tomfoolery happens where they announce something crazy in the next 12 hours, I'll go Bam Knight there.
Yeah, I agree. Bam Knight is the best one. Bird, Pajaro.
Hold on, that didn't go through.
No worries.
Let's see. We're gonna refresh here, and Panthers, we just answered your question. If you want to go back and hear the answer, just scroll back 60 seconds or so. Bird Gang Gordo says, who would you start at flex? Downs, Franklin, Washington.
Well, we're starting Woody, but then I'm not going to start Franklin this week. Parker, Washington, I think is risky, but I feel like Josh Allen's your best option there.
Yep.
That's what I was saying.
Jake 5484 at running back 2. This would be Monongai.
Yeah, I agree.
At wide receiver 2, probably Ladd there.
I think Ladd and Tet are in the same tier
Ladd,
for me.
Ladd and Tet,
Let me just triple check.
That makes sense.
Yeah, for me, this will be Ladd over Tet. And then at the you're right. Both wide receivers there.
Kuya says need wide receiver. Is QJ a viable start? Viable? I'd start DK over all these names here pretty comfortably.
Yeah, I guess he will be your second best option, though. I would still start QJ over Slayton and Kirk personally.
Yeah, no, I agree. So it's DK and Johnston. But look, I mean, the question is he a viable start? He's your best option. That's the answer. He's your best option.
Yeah.
Shiva Bite is sending away Diggs for Addison. Yeah, give me Addison pretty easily there.
That's easy. Every single day.
The rest of the schedule is nice.
Yeah.
Vice?
Or Vice, sorry, you're right. Vice, excuse me. I'm gonna go Zach Ertz this week over Dalton. Just with no Terry, I like that. I like the upside there with Zach Ertz.
I can see that. I lean Dalton just versus Kansas City. Expect both teams needing to throw the ball, so that's just the rationale, but I can understand. At flex,
start Jaylen Warren there for sure. I think it's Jaylen Warren is on midnight actually.
Yep,
that's what it is for me.
And this staff has come out, said they're going to go with a hot hand. Who have they trusted so far at the first and second down roll? It's been Bam Knight, and that's where I'm going to lean. And honestly, a lot of these guys that you're looking at, they're in split backfields anyway, and you're going based off of matchup at that point. If you think it's going to be a split backfield in Arizona, a lot of these guys who are submitting questions, their options are split backfields anyway. You might as well go with the best matchup. In that split backfield. So, yeah, that's what I'm going to go. Although DeMarcado was just cleared for week 9.
Yeah, I personally think it might be like a split backfield type of situation. But look, you just have to go with what we know right now. I feel like Zonovan is the best option. About time they updated his photo as well. Yeah, I'm
close. There's risk for sure. Manjo says lots of tough matchups. Who's starting RB2 and flex? RB2.
It's JK, I would say, for me.
Yeah. I just don't like the matchup, but I agree.
Yeah, I know.
And then at the flex spot.
Yeah, at the flex spot, I think it's between Rico and Charbonnet for me, and I'm gonna go Rico.
Yeah, I'm gonna go Rico as well.
Just Josh in here. Dart CMC RB2. This will be Kyle Monungai for me.
Yep.
Rashid Rice, Nico Gadsden, and then at the flex, this would be then Tracy for me. All those guys aren't playing.
Sup, Jeff?
RIP to Ricky
Starting
Pearsall.
May, Javonte James, Jason Pittman. Great lineup. At the flex, it's Wandale or Dobbins. I think Wandale is a safer play there. Kelsey, Shakir is also interesting. I'm gonna go Wandale there personally. Over Dobbins. I don't like the matchup for Dobbins.
For Dobbins, yeah, I definitely understand. I'm there with you. Kev Dog, Lamar Jackson, great start. Kyle Manungai, and then Woody. I think that would be Bam for Zach potentially. How many flex are there? There's 2 flex, so maybe you might have some room.
I'm just gonna say Bam for now. Yeah, at wide receiver.
Okay, you're probably not gonna have room. I guess Rome over Adams this week. Let me just double check. What do I have? No, I have Adams and Rome back to back, and Adams is one spot ahead. So that means Rome's gonna be in the flex, and then I guess for you technically it would be what, Zonovan and Marvin. Or
well,
sorry,
it's between Marvin and
Woody.
Marks for me.
It'll be you and Woody. Yeah, for you it would be Woody and
I'll play Marvin.
And Zonovan. Yeah, I'm gonna play Marvin there as well. So I'm agreeing.
Genty says, I lack depth for a playoff run, currently 4th in a 12-team league. It's most likely the 101 to 103 pick. What are your thoughts? So they'd send away Genty and Neighbors for a first, Hampton and McMillan.
Yeah, I mean, I lack depth for a playoff team.
I think you regret this during the offseason, to be honest.
I agree. Like,
I haven't I've told the chat today, Genty, that I started scouting this class like 3 weeks ago on the weekends, and the running back class is where I started. I'm not obsessed with it, but everyone says that the strength of the class is wide receiver. I haven't gotten there yet, so I haven't gotten really like a chance to be very excited about the class at this point. But if that's the 101 for sure, if it's the 103, that could probably change things this year. I don't know for sure just yet, but
look, for me personally, I wouldn't do this trade. I understand you're getting a top 3 pick. Like Zach said, from what I've been hearing is wide receivers, like that top 3 pick, we can just be seeing a quarterback potentially and then top 3 receivers, or maybe 3 receivers in a row.
Yeah.
But like, I think there's a huge difference specifically in talent with like Malik and 10. Now that's hard to really grasp because Malik just tore his ACL. And Genty hasn't been living up to expectations the way we hoped him to. But I think a lot of that is due based off of the team around him. And I think that could get better going into year 2 for Genty.
Yeah, I think
Malik just got a quarterback, which is crazy. So
I think I'd want another first, and I'll send a second to do this deal. I think at minimum, if you're going to do the deal, you need to add another pick swap where you get a first and send a second.
That I understand.
Sets is saying you need 2 flex different sites, so can't link team. That's okay. You need 2 flex options. Monongai,
one for sure is going to be
for sure for me. Monongai.
Yeah, I think it's gonna be Monongai and Etienne. I think those are the two my 2 highest ranked players in this group. Now, I can understand why this is a very difficult decision because matchup based, there's a lot of other guys that have better matchups or has higher upside.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm just gonna go based off my ranking. That's Etienne and Kyle.
Yeah, I think that makes sense. P-Pav says stuck between Brown, Etienne, Brian Thomas Jr., and McMillan. So at running back 2, Etienne and Chase are options. Probably lean Etienne.
Let me just triple check.
I'll lean Etienne there against the Raiders.
I do have. Well, Chase Brown and Etienne are back to back, so never mind. Yeah.
Wide receiver, I'll go McMillan there, and then in your flex between Brown, Marks, Thomas, Addison. Addison is really interesting to me against the Lions. You know, if it was Wentz, it'd easily be Addison. I just don't know.
I hope it's high scoring that game, dude. Gosh.
I just don't know with JJ McCarthy. What do you think here?
Yeah, this one's tough. This is a 1 quarterback, 10 team start 7. So my expectation is that you need an upside. Right now, it sounds crazy, but upside feels like Jordan Addison.
Yeah, I was gonna say one of those receivers then.
Over Brian Thomas, at least when you think of matchup, you think of a high scoring game. Obviously, the Jags are playing the Raiders, so you maybe think that game can get away from the Raiders, but they are coming off a bye. I'm just gonna go Addison. He's been finding the end zone since he's gotten back. I'm pretty sure he has scored a touchdown in almost every game.
That's true.
Actually, outside of one game, but he had his best game without a touchdown in the game that he didn't score a touchdown.
While that's true, it was not with JJ McCarthy. That's my concern. McCarthy. So I'd probably leave Brian Thomas there. But decent options. Let's refresh here. Key Pharmacopoeia is starting Darnold at running back.
Yeah, this one will be Chase. I have Chase over Woody.
Yeah, I'm fine with that. At flex, Woody Marks.
Yeah, I'm there with you.
Drew, what's up, Drew? He is choosing between Addison and Diggs. I'll go Addison this week.
Agreed.
Diggs, it's just there's just too many weapons there. He's not established himself as an alpha. I mean, yeah, like if you were to say like, oh, who's the wide receiver one in New England, everyone would say Diggs, but on a weekly basis, it's so touch and go. Shiva says Downs or Montgomery. I'll go Monty there.
Yeah, I'm gonna go Monty as well. They've been utilizing. I was looking at something earlier. I forgot what it was. But I was really interested in like the utilization in like Josh Downs, and Alec Pierce. Because Alec Pierce has been on the field more, but Josh Downs has been getting just like those like, what's it called? Valuable, I guess, targets and touches that warrants those big play opportunities. Same thing with Alec Pierce, but like you're happy that he's catching 2 balls for 40 yards.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna go Monty, but Josh Downs and Alec Pierce, that whole work is interesting with the snap percentages.
Sorry,
but I think
yeah. I'll go Montgomery there. Look, Scribbles, I don't necessarily disagree with this comment. I mean, we were very actively telling people to go buy JJ McCarthy in Dynasty this offseason, so I don't think we're contributing to that, but if we are,
I think it's hard to compare. I think
I'm not anti JJ at all.
I think what is frustrating to the Dynasty community in, I guess, the NFL, I guess we have been taught that by the NFL, is that like they want instant gratification and instant knowledge of if they hit or not.
It's a microwave generation, brother.
That started with Justin Herbert. Justin Herbert started, and then it was just like, shit, if Justin can do it, we need to find another quarterback that can do it. And well, shit, Jaden Daniels was also a thing. It's what, Jaden Daniels? Drake May didn't do it right away.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you can even look at Baker Mayfield and Sam Darnold.
Yeah, Baker, yeah.
There's plenty of teams who are not patient enough for the situation that they're in.
In fantasy, those guys were bust in the first starts of their season. But like now they're like, fuck, I wish I had them.
Yeah.
Which is weird to say.
All right, so we do have some super chats. And I'm going to have to open a new tab for this because I can't go all the way back. But hey, we're going to do a giveaway. If we reach 100 likes, we're almost there. We're like 15 likes away right now, I think. So all you got to do to enter that giveaway is like the stream and type week 9 into the chat, all one word. Like the stream, type week 9 into the chat. But let me try and pull up these super chats here.
Yeah.
Going to be a little bit of inception here.
The first one should be from Crow Planet.
Oh wait,
if I'm saying that correctly.
I think I have them.
But yeah.
Yes, Crow is here.
And keep in mind, guys, I will be putting a time code once we are done with the live stream. So if you're watching this and saying, "Oh, I gotta go, I got a super chat, I don't know if I can stay," that's fine. There's gonna be a time code at the bottom when we start to do the super chats, whether you're watching now or later into the season. I think we're gonna be start doing that regardless. So, Crow Planet here says start Kyle Nungai or George Pickens. Yeah, this is interesting. This is. Look, I think for me, this is still George Pickens, but I think this game can get away from them. I think this could be a big Javonte and CD game where George is just like, maybe George just gets his time to eat, but it's not going to be a lot.
Yeah.
So I can see the game script narrative really not going in the favor of Pickens, where it's going to go in favor of Kyle. So with that being said, technically I'm still going George, but like I can understand Kyle Monangai being a favorable start.
Yeah, I would go Pickens as well. There's just more evidence of him being a reliable option thus far. Call Me Rudy is next. There says, well, let's see. Can we get the extent of what they said? Okay. Says Tyrone or Bam Knight for RB2. Also Kraft or Gadsden. And we're going Tyrone there versus the Niners, and Kraft or Gadsden or Kittle. I mean, dude. Yeah.
You had to choose.
I guess it's Kraft and Kittle, but
one can flex.
You're gonna get that wrong almost every week. You should look to try and trade one of those names if you can. Of course, maybe you can't, but you're gonna get that wrong pretty often.
Yeah. Look, I'll just tell you what my tight end rankings are in order. Kraft, Gadsden, Kittle. It's technically Kraft first, Kittle, and then Gadsden. So if hopefully that helps you. Jordan, it says appreciate you guys' work. Choose 2 for flex. Appreciate you. Is Monangai for me? This is gonna be Monangai and Dowdle.
Yes, I agree. 100%. Those are your best options. Flex Monangai, London, or Pittman in a standard league. Standard league. Probably Monangai, honestly.
Yeah, standard is yardage and touchdowns. I mean, Pittman has been scoring touchdowns, though, to be fair.
He has. Just trust
the touches in a standard
matchup against
league.
Cincinnati. Cincinnati's so bad.
Yeah. I would agree there with you. Flipping says
I have
Hendy.
them. I can pull them up now. Hendy or Woody. We're gonna go Woody Marks there.
Yeah, I'm there with you as well.
Yeah. Look, Henderson might be the play, but just, you've already seen Woody Marks show that he could be a good fantasy asset. Big Al says flex Bam, Monty, Kenneth Walker, Sharps, or Brian Thomas Jr.
I mean, yeah.
This would be probably Brian for me. It's close. It's between Brian and Bam.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not loving this question at all. I'm just gonna go Brian with you then. I don't trust Bam. I don't trust Brian. I don't trust anyone in these options. The guy in the best offense is Monty, but like.
Yeah, we would both be really happy with any of them in our flexes in the Flock League.
Yeah, legit. Yeah, I'm just gonna go with Zach as Brian Thomas, but I mean, that's a tough one.
Yeah.
A tough one, buddy.
Okay. I don't think we have any more questions, super chats, or site. We are currently 10 likes away from our goal. We actually do have another question on the site.
Okay.
But guys, if you want to have some free vouchers given away on the stream, then all you need to do is like the stream and type week 9 into the chat, all one word, to enter. At this very present moment, we have 38 entries. So this is your last chance to enter here, assuming we hit 100 likes. The World Series is on.
Yeah, it's actually been unreal, the World Series. Been loving watching it.
Yeah.
I don't know about you, but like it's just been so good.
Just haven't had a chance, really. Like when it's on, it's always on like while I'm working. Yeah. But I've seen the replays on YouTube. That one game that went to extra innings, I just was like, oh my God. Like it was awesome, but then at some point you were just like, can someone figure this out? And they got to figure out the whole walking rules, because it was so boring to watch them walk Otani like however many times that ended up happening. That was so frustrating.
You know, I thought about that. I was thinking about that. I was like, well, I mean, yeah, it's like, it's just a strategy, right? Like, it just makes sense. It's like, you know what that reminded me of? It reminds me of like when the Knicks was playing and that dude, I forgot his name, couldn't make free throws, Robinson, and they kept fouling him.
Yeah.
Like, it's the same thing.
It's definitely
right?
strategy, but neither of those like make for a good product. You know?
Yeah, that's why I was hating when they were fouling him.
In basketball and intentionally walking in baseball. They're definitely strategy, there's no doubt, but it doesn't make for a better product, in my opinion. You know?
Yeah.
No, but I get it. I get why they would do that. All right. Let's go to Cadester here, who has 2 questions. Let's start with this trade question first. He'd send away Brian Thomas and Kincaid for Keenan and Warren. I don't see a reason not to do that, personally.
Yeah, I would agree.
Especially if you don't have another tight end, you know, and Warren... Yeah. Warren is an upgrade. So, I don't think anyone's confident in telling you... We all prefer Brian Thomas, but I don't think anyone could say, like, for certain that he would outscore Keenan rest of the year.
I agree. I'm right there with you. All right, going to the start stick question. Daniel Jones, Monty or Zach Charbonnet? I think I have Monty over Charbs this week.
As well. Yeah.
At the flex position, I think this would be DK.
Yeah, I think so, especially with, you know, that momentum. No Ridley again. Hard to sit him, man.
It is. It's definitely hard to sit him. I would be starting him if I could, if I had him.
As the first hit of the game has already happened.
Oh yeah, that's unreal.
The Blue Jays already have someone on base. Otani's shit. No, I'm just kidding.
Otani shook. I mean, he's shooketh.
So where is it? This is in Toronto?
Yeah, this is in Toronto.
So Toronto had the best record this year.
Well, I have when it comes down to all that, I have no idea.
I'm guessing they had the better record, not the best.
Yeah.
If they have home field for
their team's unreal though. I feel like everyone. I mean, at least the way I've been watching it. I only watch, you know me. I only watch it during playoffs. I don't really watch it in season. But like, I feel like they've just been like a juggernaut.
Yeah.
And we played them like the Yankees, and like they just dominated. I'm pretty sure that we played them. Yeah, if I'm not mistaken. Unless that was a different team.
All right, we answered all these questions, right? Okay. Let's do a giveaway. Again, this is your last chance to enter the giveaway. 42 people have currently entered. All you have to do to enter is like the stream and type week 9 into the chat. That's as simple as it can possibly get. So this is your last chance to do that. We'll give you a second. Now, one thing we need you to know is that we're going to start posting a lot more content on our Dynasty channel as we get closer and closer to Christmas. If you don't know, we do make Dynasty football content. And if you don't know what Dynasty football is, go subscribe and we'll talk about it all offseason long. For the people who only play fantasy in season, what happens is, you know, week 15, 16, 17 happens, and then you go into a slight... I mean, this is what I used to do when I used to not play Dynasty a long time ago, is, you know, the fantasy season would come to a conclusion and you would just get so sad because you're like, damn, okay, well, fantasy's over. That's not the way it works in Dynasty. You know, Dynasty never stops. Dynasty season is always happening. And then we get to talk about the rookies upcoming, strategies for Dynasty football. So if you like fantasy football and you've never gotten into Dynasty, you know, that link is in the chat. I'll spam it there to go to our Dynasty channel. But if you're already a Dynasty player, then go subscribe as well, because we'll be talking about the upcoming class. I'm currently scouting them as we speak. Shall we do this giveaway?
Yeah, let's do it. Good luck, guys. Once again, week 9 in the chat. I think I see, 48 entries right now.
Yes.
On our end. So good luck.
All right. Spin the wheel. We've got 48 entries here. Oh, this is a new style.
New colors. Yeah, new colors, these guys.
Yeah. Okay, I don't like it, but it's the way it looks. What gift for Christmas? I don't know what's going on here. Okay, the first winner is going to get a start sit question. Start sit question.
Good luck, guys. Good luck. Here we go.
And that winner is JFS77. That's the start sit. Let's get the trade question here, and I'll give you guys some instructions on how to claim it. The trade question winner is Action Jackson 503. All you got to do to claim that is DM me on Discord, but make sure you send me a screenshot of a YouTube account and tell me your Flock Fantasy username. And if you don't have a username on the Flock site yet, create one for free. But very important step here, make sure you use the promo code LAND. That way I can find you on our database. Appreciate you big time, my friend, for showing up and showing some love. I'm glad that we can give back. Okay. All the questions on the Flock site, but we do have some super chats.
Yeah, we got a couple
so
super chats
we'll probably
here.
wrap this up once we get through some of these. We're very close to ending the stream. Chris says, trade away Tyrone for Jaden Daniels. I have Dart, Bijan, Chase Brown, Marks, and Monangai. That's a pretty sick running back room.
Yeah, it's interesting. I mean, you're having Dart right now, Jaden Daniels. I mean, look, if this is a 10-man league, I don't see why not. If this is a 12-man league, I would say like Monangai. You know how long he's going to keep his job. Did the Texans have their bye week already? I know Chase Brown hasn't had their bye week.
Chase Brown, no, Chase Brown hasn't, but the Texans have.
The Texans, and I know for sure the Falcons have as well. So, look, I'm okay with a trade like this. It just depends on the rest of the season, because if Chase Brown's on a bye and then you can't start Kyle Monangai, then you have Bijan and Marks. But what happens if you had Tracy and that was a smash matchup, hypothetically? So I think you have to look a little bit more into it, but I'm okay with the trade overall.
Yeah. Yeah. The hard part is like Dart is a startable name every week. That's what's hard, but
yeah, that's kind of the thing, which makes me believe like
I wonder if you can then flip Dart and Chase Brown or Dart and Marks or something to replace Tyrone, you know, and then rock with Jaden rest of the year. But
yeah.
Appreciate you, man. Another one here from Logan, who put Etienne or Brian Thomas, half PPR league, Etienne or Brian Thomas. Probably leaning Etienne there. Just with Thomas, you know, the chemistry's not been there, and a little concerned about an injury, but he's still a very playable name. You just have two options that are decent. I lean Etienne. Again, there is some concern. You know, what if Bashul Tutin's more involved? But you know, those concerns are on both sides for both of these players.
Yeah, I agree.
Yep, Etienne's a safer floor. I think Thomas is the higher ceiling. So depending on what you're needing there, but Etienne is probably the safer, you know, floor option there. Honestly, I could not agree with this more about Travis Hunter. I felt like he was ready to be rookie year Amon-Ra St. Brown in the second half of the season. I really feel like he was ready to just go ham. Now we don't even know if he's going to be back. Tyler Warren or Jordan Addison in the flex. I'm going to go Tyler Warren there, I think.
I agree.
Let's answer like 5 questions at random in the chat, and then we'll end it unless there's any other questions that come through. Okay, super chat just came through. D Mid, appreciate you, says start 2 running backs, Henderson, Bam Knight, or Chase Brown.
Bam and Chase Brown for me.
Yeah, I think that's where I lean as well. You know, Henderson's a fine option, but wouldn't be shocked if the Patriots give Terrell Jennings, or whatever that guy's name is, you know, some looks here. So, but appreciate you. It looks like that's the British pound. So I think we should say Bam Knight and Chase Brown in it. I think that's what how we should
in it, bro.
Because otherwise, I don't know if he would actually understand what we're saying.
No.
So, yeah. Let's answer 3 questions at random here, and then we're gonna end.
Here we go.
DK or Marks for the second flex, full PPR.
Yeah, I mean that's a great question.
Yeah, it is.
Look, DK has. They both have been like on an upward trajectory. I'm just gonna go with DK. This team plays from behind often. They have to throw the ball.
Yeah,
And
that is the intriguing part about it. Is like, name a game where you think the Titans are going to be up.
Yeah. And this is gonna be. They're playing LA. I'm pretty sure at LA. That defense is getting healthy. I would imagine this is gonna be a.
It's in Tennessee though.
Is it in Tennessee? Okay.
Okay. Okay. Did we say Karl Marx? Did someone say Karl Marx? Woody Marx? Karl Marx? I don't remember. Okay, let's answer 2 more at random here. Nico or Dunze? Come on, brother. Come on, Nubby.
Come on, Nubby.
You don't know the answer to that? I think you know the answer to that. We'll go with Dunze.
Agreed.
Ewok says, thoughts on Rico and Ferguson for Ibuka half PPR. I'll take Ibuka there pretty easily.
I agree. I don't want Ibuka.
Smooth Criminal, probably last question of the day, says offered Hall and Otten for Henderson and Warren. Breece Hall and Cade Otten for Henderson and Warren. For
Travion and Warren. Yeah, wow. I mean, a lot of that is dependent on your running back room. So you're trading away Breece Hall for Henderson, who can have a breakout game. Is Breece Hall if this is a 10-man league, is Breece Hall your RB3, RB4 type of situation? Why not? But if this is a 12-man league, start 7, I would find that a little bit more difficult to do. But Tyler Warren is a significant upgrade from Auden. You're probably on the waiver wires on a week-to-week at a tight end position there. So a lot of context is missed, unfortunately.
Assuming Otten's your starter, then it's Warren for sure.
Yeah, exactly. So
all right, guys, that's it for today. We appreciate you big time. I will be answering questions on the back end of the Flock site by messaging you guys. So if you have any questions you desperately need answered, you can submit them on the site. I'll make sure and get back to you via text there on the site. And yeah, good luck this week and appreciate
love, guys. Yeah, good luck with everything you need to happen this weekend.